Hey home bakers, it's Jack here at bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. And today I haven't lost my marbles. I'm going to talk to you about bread making machines because I get asked about them loads. Somebody tweeted me the other day, and I've just done a show at the weekend, a wine festival, and loads of people I meet, I say, how do you make bread at home? And they say, they go like this, yeah, and they wince. They say, yeah, I got a bread making machine, and that's okay. That's okay. That is okay. And so the other day I was asked what are my thoughts on bread making machines. So here they are. Bread making machines are okay. Okay, they're okay. There's one major benefit from a bread making machine, which is you know what you're eating. Yeah, you know what you put in. Chances are it's flour, water, yeast, salt, and probably it's got sugar in it to help to make sure the machine does its job properly and make it brown off nice, probably. But you know what you're eating in this modern age that we are in, where everything is modern and all the food is made of modern ingredients, what nobody knows what they are. It's quite refreshing to just eat bread made from flour, water, salt and yeast. And that's a rule for all bread making at home. That's the major benefit. So if somebody winces to me and goes, oh yeah, got a bread making machine, at least that's a good thing that you know what you're eating. Bread that comes out of it is okay too. It is your standard loaf, probably. It's probably got some flavours in there in the recipe book that comes with it, I don't know. But there is a bit of a boredom factor probably kick in, and I hear that a lot, that people say, well yeah, it just makes the same loaf, and then it goes, the machine ends up in a cupboard or whatever at some point. But you know, my mum has one and she likes it because you put everything in it in the evening, and it's ready for bread in the morning. So you know, that's pretty wicked if you can do that, and if that works for you, and then you know you're eating and you got nice fresh bread in the morning, that's okay as well. But as I say, this isn't a bread making machine advert. You know, I haven't been sponsored by Philips to make this video, because they are only okay. Like, of course, I prefer making everything by hand because that's the way. And some people are a little bit surprised when I say, yeah, I'll come to your home and teach you how to make bread, right? They say, oh, do you bring a machine or do it by hand? And I say, we do it by hand. Like, we don't just put it in a machine and sit down for 3 hours with a cup of tea. That's not how it works. We make everything by hand because that's the proper way. Because what is missing out of your bread making machine is this. Is love, right? There's no love in a bread making machine. You just put it in and mix it up, bread done. There's no love here, there's no character, and there's no, you know, and there's so much little bits and bobs that comes with that, and the texture and the flavour is down to love. Of course I would promote making your own bread by hand. Of course I would say that, because it is better. Because it is better, but if a bread making machine works for you, that's absolutely fine. One thing to note is that you can do the beginning stages, the mixing and the resting in the bread making machine, take it out and make whatever with it, like buns or focaccia or I don't know, whatever. But one thing to note on that is that when everything's proving up inside your machine, it's going to be like, I don't know, 28, 32 degrees, something like that, proving up, puffing up. And then when you're taking it out, you're essentially changing the environment, taking it to your room temperature, which is like 18, 21, something like that. And that will stitch you up as well in time. As long as you're aware of that, that's okay. You need to make allowances for stuff like cling filming over the top of your proving bread so it doesn't dry out because it's so warm. Stuff like this, and you know, don't expect it to rise up. Somebody said to me, they make it in a bread making machine, take it out, and then when the focaccia rises, it doesn't quite come up as quick or properly or whatever, and it's because you're changing the environment, and that's a bit of a stitch up too. So you know, it's always better by hand, in my personal humble opinion, because that's where the love and the character comes from. But they are okay, and just okay. And you always get a hole in the bottom of a loaf because there's that little mixing thing. I don't know if you've seen it. You get a little mixing thing underneath and it bakes into the loaf, and you've got to dig it out and get a hole. It's all a bit odd. Someone needs to fix that. But that's my thoughts on bread making machines. In a nutshell, they are okay. I don't have one. I probably never will have one. I won't ever have one. I don't have any use for one, but they are okay. You know, I share tips on here regularly, and part of what I do when I go to somebody's house or they come to me on a course, on a class, is to put into, it's not a big deal. it is a long process, but the work is minimal. All you really need time for is 20 minutes working and mixing and kneading, and the rest comes as long as you're around. You know, it's not a big deal. And so fitting it into your daily schedule is a lot of what I talk about, because it's a shame you come to a class and go, and you never do it again. Like, if we can fit it into your day, like, we're all busy people, but you can fit it into your day. And there's certain times, like the resting time, you can manipulate and make that longer, whatever, if you've got stuff to do. You can fit it into your schedule that way. And of course, this is the way I go, because I want to educate people on how to do it in the first place, what to look out for, and how to fit into your schedule to make sure you can do it. This is what I do. This is my aim. So yeah, bread making machine's okay, but really there are ways and means of you to fit into your schedule. They're probably not as tricky as you think. And that's it. Listen, we're all on the wind down to Easter now. I put a couple of hot cross bun recipes on my website. Check it out. There's a traditional one and there's a chocolate one that I've been working on for a while that I'm quite chuffed with. So go and check that out as well. And if you like this video, if it helped you out, please click that like button so I know exactly what sort of videos to make more of in the future. Happy Easter if you're off. Have a wonderful time. And I will see you next week, next Thursday, for another bread making tip. See ya.